They can't wait to hear your take when the Packers eliminate the Dallas Cowboys at home. So, Ralph, I actually have these stats for the Dallas Cowboys coming up here, but I'm going to expose your comment here. So when people say that the Dallas Cowboys do not play well, or sorry, it's actually Dak Prescott, right? They say that Dak Prescott does not play well against winning teams. I got these stats here for you, Ralph. Dak Prescott has had an MVP season all year long against sub 500 teams and against above 500 teams. In 9 games versus sub 500 teams, Dak Prescott has 19 touchdowns. In 8 games versus above 500 teams, he has 17 touchdowns. So exactly how is Dak Prescott being exposed when he plays on the road against these above 500 teams, right? Like, before you want to try to twist a narrative and say that the Dallas Cowboys can't beat above 500 teams, Dak is really, really good and pads these stats against below 500 teams, look at these stats right here. 19 touchdowns versus sub 500 teams, 17 touchdowns above 500 teams. 9 games below 500 teams and 8 games above 500 teams. So slow it down, baby. Hoffy, what is up with all the hate for Dak? Is Dak really the bully of the NFC when he piles up against these Pazzy stats against non-winning teams?
I mean, I would say that Tua is more the bully, of the NFL with, what did they have? 1 win versus a 500 plus team, and that was the Cowboys.
Right.
We're talking MVP numbers or we're talking about, Tua possibly being the MVP. And I don't know how yes, his numbers were impressive, but how can you be an MVP when you couldn't beat a team over 500? You didn't win your division. You came down to week 17. I think, if he is to earn that MVP, he should have had to win that game, and he didn't. So there's many players in the league that have padded their numbers against lesser teams, but as we've always said, you play the teams that are in front of you. So
yeah. And just to add to your point here, the NFL has already released the schedule for next year. Now the games aren't lined up per se, but we know who the Indianapolis Colts are going to play in 2024. We know who the Dallas Cowboys are going to play in 2024. So it is not like the Cowboys are cherry picking their schedule like, oh, let's play the Cardinals. Let's play the Jets. Let's play this team. Like, when you guys think about it, when the Dallas Cowboys played the Jets, they were an undefeated team. Don't shoot the messenger. Facts are there. They were an undefeated team when the Dallas Cowboys played the New York Jets week 2. It's not my fault.
This isn't the NCAA where Alabama gets to play Holy Christian of North Dakota.
It's the School of the Blind, and they're from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania puts out a very, very good football programs for the blind kids. Question, though, Hoffy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Question. If a deaf person is arrested, put in handcuffs, are we taking away their free speech? No? Is it too early for that? How about this? What is better than 2 roses on a piano?
2 redheads?
Tulips on an organ. Sorry, guys. Jim says, hey, you guys know Green Bay just went 6-2, right? I do know that, Jim. And I do know that I said earlier in the season that I thought the Green Bay Packers were going to be either really good or really bad. I was concerned about their youth. I did not anticipate them going 9-8. I thought it was going to be like 12-5 or 5-12. I felt there was no mediocre point for the Green Bay Packers. And yes, the Green Bay Packers are, do we dare say it, the hottest team in the NFL right now. Granted, the Buffalo Bills are playing some really, really good football, but let's just put it toward the NFC. The Green Bay Packers are the hottest team in the NFC right now. I will give you that. They did go 6-2, but let's see who they played in those 6 wins to those 2 losses, right? They played the Rams. a really, really good Rams team, beat them 20-3, right? But then they played the Steelers, and then they played the Chargers, and then they played the Detroit Lions. Okay, the Detroit Lions. Oh, that was when they were struggling, right? That was when they forgot to put on their left shoe before their right shoe, right? Then they beat the Chiefs. Now, on the surface, the last 6 years, when you look at the Chiefs winning them, yeah, great win. Well, guess what? It was at home, and the Kansas City Chiefs hadn't scored a second half touchdown in 3 weeks at that particular point. But then you lose to the Giants. Then you lose to the Buccaneers. You barely squeak by the Panthers. You beat the Minnesota Vikings with on their fifth string quarterback. And then you squeak by the Chicago Bears 17-9 at home. So yes, they are a very impressive 6-2 in their last 8. If you look directly at the 6-2 stat, great, fantastic. Look at the games that they played. Hoffy, do you buy anything into the 6-2 record right now? Are the Green Bay Packers the hottest team in the NFC?
No, I think the hottest team in the NFC is going to be either Dallas or the 49ers.
Yeah, and don't overlook the Rams either. So, I mean,
Yeah, actually, I would even argue that the Rams are even hotter.